What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Shelly Nicole, with the Remedy Podcast. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I don't know about y'all, but the pollen is trying to take me out. I sound like I have a cold, but I don't. I'm coughing like I have a cold, but I don't. It's literally the pollen, and the allergies are kicking my ass. So I am literally like hanging on by a thread, popping Benadryl like it's fucking Skittles. But nonetheless, tonight's episode is about toxic work environments. And the reason why I decided to make this episode is because, and I was talking about it on the live on Saturday. I know I was supposed to go on live on Wednesday. I didn't. I said I didn't do Thursday. I was supposed to do Friday. I was not feeling good. Mother Nature was Mother Naturing. But nonetheless, I did it on Saturday, and on the live, it was kind of dry. It wasn't too many people on it. But for the few people that were there, we were talking about toxic work environments, and we were talking about how people are just very disrespectful to their coworkers and the people that they are under or over or above. Wherever you lie in that category, I am talking to you. For whatever reason, it seems like, and this is not just my job, so I don't want people to think that I'm specifically talking about my job. I'm talking about other people, like I said, that were in the live that did comment. Other stories that I've heard from my friends who work at different companies, people who are in different fields, in the tech fields, in the medical fields, in who are police officers, who are, I have a friend who's a firefighter, just anywhere basically, and most of them being men of color, and women of color, and the nonsense that we see on a daily basis from our own people. Nonetheless, granted, we see it from other races. Granted, we have it from other races. I'm not saying that makes it better, but regardless of whatever field you're in, corporate, medical, tech, law enforcement, security, anything of the sort, right? It just feels like these work environments are trash. They're shit. And on top of them being trash and them being shit, they're also not paying you enough. And also on them not paying you enough, they bitch and complain about you taking the paid time off that you have worked your ass off to accrued and to have. What is the point of having paid time off if I can't use it? You're going to tell me when I can use my earned paid time off. I also made a post, I think it was like a few weeks ago, where I said on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. It's the same as the Instagram, the name, the Remedy _podcast. And I posted, please make sure you make memories and not just clock in. Because the one thing that is for sure, the second thing that is for certain, the moment you retire, the moment, God forbid, you pass away, the moment that you change your job, your spot will be filled in a matter of a second. Whether that's with another human or with technology, because the world is going in a whole technical AI, iRobot type of thing. And I will not be surprised if a lot of these jobs are robot based later on in the future. Nonetheless, take your time off. I have coworkers, even friends, who have over 150, 200 hours of PTO. And they're always telling me, oh, I don't want to call out. Oh, I can't call out. Oh my God, but what if I call out? Are you okay? Are you okay? You have enough time to call out for 2 weeks, if not more. What are you worried about? If you're not feeling okay, call out. If you need a mental health day, especially for what is going on right now in this world, take the time off. I don't want to hear it. You want to stay in, I don't care if it's for you to just stay in bed, watch movies, binge watch a show or watch movies and eat your favorite fucking ice cream. Do it. You deserve it. You don't want to get up because you just want to be a bum for a day. Be a bum in your nice, comfortable, God-sent bed or living room, couch, wherever, your favorite chair, your favorite beanbag if you have a beanbag. Favorite spot on the floor if you like to lay on the floor. Pour yourself up a nice glass of whatever it is you like to drink and do so. Because like I said, when you're gone, that spot will be replaced. You are a number. You may be an important number, but you are a number. And a lot of these environments, a lot of these places where we work, the environments and how we are around people or how people are around us, how we work, is disgusting. Especially if you have to deal with the general public. Especially if your job is customer based, which I don't feel like a lot of them are, but a good majority can definitely be customer based. And you have to deal with the general public and the nonsense of the general public. I do feel like those are the environments that are the most toxic. I remember my mom and my dad would share stories too. My dad used to work for the Postal Service. He was there for 35 years, I think. No, 30 years, I think. He was there for a long time. Let's just say that. He retired about almost, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. And he would always tell me about the nonsense at his job. Like, people fighting, people getting into arguments, the supervisor's lazy. How did this one get a promotion? How did that one get to this, this area? He would always say all these things. And my dad would literally just come in, clock in, talk to his friends that he made at the job and just go about his business and do his overtime. My mom, the same. My mom was a registered nurse. She was doing that for about the same time, 30 years, 35 years. Could be longer than that. I don't know. But, and she retired and she would always tell me about this nurse don't like that nurse. This one got a problem with that doctor. This one's sleeping with this one. And it's everything that's like having to deal with having to talk to the general public where it's so toxic. And I'm not saying that other, ones that are not so much customer based are not toxic, but I do feel like those are the ones that are the worst. Nonetheless, my one toxic work environment issue that I have is with managers and or supervisors and or CEOs and or whoever is on top, the higher ups, right? Who are disgustingly rude and mean to the people who are, I don't want to say lower than them, but to the subordinates. That even sounds worse too. So the people who they manage or the people who they give direction to, who they give order to. I think that sounds a little bit better. The rudeness gets you nowhere, sweetheart. I don't know who needs to hear that. I don't know who that's for. But being rude and being mean and being a bitch, and just because I'm saying a bitch doesn't mean I'm talking about a man or talking about a woman. I'm talking about all of you. It does not do anything for you but make you look like an ugly person. You probably have heard people say like, oh, this person can look so pretty, can have all the nice things, can, hair is always done, always got a nice haircut, always in the nicest clothes, always, presentable as far as how they dress and whatever the case is. But the moment you open your mouth, you're ugly as hell. That's why I love, sidebar, I just love meeting people who are not just genuinely beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, they are so down to earth and so chilled. I've heard so many people tell me at my job, Michelle, when are you going to be a supervisor? Michelle, when are you going to, go up? Michelle, when are you going to, mind you, I do supervisor shit at my job. So it's like, all I need is the title. And, we're getting there. God's time, not mine. But people have asked me nonstop, like, you would be such a great supervisor. Supervisors have said that. You would be such a great supervisor. Not only because you do your job, but because people confide in you, people talk to you, people listen to you. I don't need to be a bitch in order to get someone to do something that I need them to do when I'm at work. I can literally talk to them like this. Hey, can you do me a favor and do this and that and the third? And it gets done. Now, do I have to probably raise an octave and go up a little bit in my tone if someone tries to play or take my kindness for weakness? Yes. Have I had to do it? Yes. And they learned quickly, like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. Right. Because when I'm constantly fair, I'm constantly nice, I'm constantly understanding, I get it. Especially the toll that the job takes on our bodies. And not only our bodies, but our health as well. So I understand it. But you play in my face one time, that's the last time you're going to play in my face. But I don't have to scream. I don't have to be rude. I don't have to be disrespectful. And I feel like a lot of people who are at the top forget that they were once at the bottom. And I get it, with a new title, with a promotion comes more responsibility. I understand that all the way. And I do understand that there is a level of seriousness that you do have to portray. I get that. But that has nothing to do with your attitude. Because if this is how you are at work, you're probably like this outside of work. So what would make me want to talk to you at work or at the job or outside of the job? I wouldn't want to do that at all. Be mindful of how you speak to people when you want something done. Especially for those of you who are looking to get into a promoted job or like go up in your ranks. You get more by being a nice person. You get more by being someone that somebody can confide in. All of this extra need to show out, flex your shoulders, flex your this, like, relax. Because 10 times out of 10, when you outside of work, you're not like that. And if you are, God bless. Another problem that I see with toxic work environments, sharing personal information with other people. So if I have, and again, people come to me, again, at my job. People come to me and they speak to me about certain things. Not everybody. I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm the therapist of my job. No. But people have come to me and expressed how they're feeling and what's going on with them. And sometimes ask for advice. And sometimes I'll give it, or just sometimes I'll just listen and, tell them, everything will be okay, or whatever the case may be. I don't see in my body, for my reasoning, to speak on anybody else's business that they chose to confide in me to anybody else. If you come to me telling me that there's something going on in your house, you don't know where to go, you feel lost, you feel defeated, you feel whatever is happening with you personally, right? It could be your marriage, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. Why am I going out of my way to speak to another coworker about what it is you just told me 5 minutes ago? Yeah, did you hear that so-and-so said that this is going on? They really going through it right now. They got all this shit going on. She done said, he done said, and then he done told me this, and she done told me. Why am I spreading other people's business? If I felt the need to do that, I would broadcast it and let everybody know. But clearly, if I'm telling you, and if I come to you and I tell you, do not tell nobody, where in that sentence did you see or hear me say, please tell everybody? Because I just said, don't tell anybody. Sharing personal information after somebody confides in you is weird as hell. And it gives very much so you're not a person who can be trusted with any type of information. Like, you're a deceitful person. You're unreliable. And you're untrustworthy. There's no reason why I have to hear information that I said to you coming out of somebody else's mouth. And then you guys remember the game telephone that we used to play like as we were kids. Where like, and if you never played it, basically it's if you start with person A and there'll be a whole lineup, person A, B, C, D, E. And by the time it gets to person E, it should be the same thing that person A said, but somehow along the lines it got messed up and it's a whole different sentence or verb or word or whatever the case is, right? There's no reason why by the time, even if I do hear what I told you, there's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother story being told. Like, wait, what? I didn't even say that. Like, where did that come from? Oh, I heard it from this one. And then this person told this person and that person told them. Grow up. Grow up. If you can't hold water at this point in your life, I'm going to need you to get that fixed. Get a stopper. Fix the faucet because you're leaking too much information. Okay, I don't know if this is technically a toxic work environment, but I will say this. This thing with hiring these YNs, this younger generation, I'm going to just say this. I applaud the younger generation for their respect, the respect that they have for themselves, knowing that the amount of work that they're about to put in. And not saying all of y'all put in the same amount of work, because let's be for real. But the amount of work they know that they're about to put in, but also the amount of money that they know that these companies can afford to give their employees and they choose not to. And a lot of this, I think we can thank TikTok and we can thank Instagram and people making videos and people who have left companies, revealing information about companies and whatever. But, and just, I guess, also just knowing that these big corporations have the money to give, but they just choose not to and keep them to themselves. A lot of the younger generation who has joined the workforce, very much so, have said, fuck no, and have said, yeah, I'm going to either become an entrepreneur, I'm going to start, streaming, making YouTube content, doing podcasting, whatever the case may be. And they're standing on it and they're making the money that they're making. But for those who maybe that's not their drive and that's just not what they want to do, or they still haven't figured it out, a lot of the companies are now hiring this new generation. And just a word of just, a little food for thought for you younger people. Y'all do know that you have to clock in. You do know you have to come and be on time. You do know that you do have to take into consideration that you're working for a company that has rules, that have other employees. You're not the only one. And if you don't like to take orders and you don't like to be told what to do, then yes, working for someone is not your stilo. It's something that you should not be doing. From what I've seen, a lot of YNs, a lot of this younger generation, they do a lot of talking back. Now, granted, I'm not saying take disrespect. Not saying that at all. Do not take no disrespect from nobody. But if you're being told to do something by someone who is higher than you, or somebody who is just a peer of yours and a coworker of yours, and they've been here longer than you and they're just trying to show you the ropes and tell you what it is you need to do, stop being so damn combative. Shut up and just listen to what it is that they're saying. Why y'all always got something to say? Why? Just take what it is I'm saying to you. And understand I'm either trying to help you and prevent you from getting in trouble, or I'm showing you exactly what it is you need to do and showing you the ropes of how the job is done. Not only that, if I tell you to do something as your superior or as someone who, is a seasoned coworker, make sure you move with some pizzazz, some oomph. Move your ass to get to where it is I'm asking. Yo, I swear, some of them really be moving 2 miles an hour. Oh my God, I don't want to do this. So go home. I remember I said it to one, I don't even know who I said it to, but I said it to one of them. And they just started. And she's a sweet girl. She's cool. She's fun and whatever. But she really has her moments where it wasn't where I'm at now, for those of you who know where I'm at, where I work. But it was before in another terminal. And she was like, oh my God, I just don't want to. And da, 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 da. I said, well, then quit. She looked at me. She was like, Michelle. I said, no, what? Quit. You always complaining about you don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. Then quit. Go make your money somewhere else. You don't have to stay here. All the while, she's still there. She's still there to this day. But it's a matter of stop complaining so damn much. There are people who don't have a job out here. There are people who are struggling to find a new job, and you have one. Shut up and get to where it is you need to. Get an energy drink. Drink a Celsius. Get a protein bar. Something. But move your ass and get there. Stop being so damn lazy. Another bad toxic work environment, right? Rumors. Rumor has it. Where do y'all get these rumors from? And who really be sitting in a house conjugate, like trying to configure a rumor about someone who they just don't like? I just don't like her. Why? I just don't like him. Why? It's something about, okay, what is the problem? And then coming up with rumors. Oh, I saw this, or I heard that. You ain't hear shit. You ain't see nothing. I really be playing dumb to stuff when people say that. I heard this and that, and it's like, oh yeah? I didn't know. Oh, that was said? Oh, okay. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I have to get it out. I think I made a post, I want to say it was sometime last month, and I was like, being the topic of conversation when I'm not even there is real pressure. Because why are we still, why is anybody talking about me and I'm not even there, and I don't even talk to none of y'all? That's funny to me. How is it that you could talk about someone who's not there, who doesn't speak to anybody in said vicinity, but somehow, some way, your name gets brought up? Stop with the rumors. Stop trying to make your life seem better by starting something else to destroy somebody else's life. Because I guarantee you, no matter how many rumors you try to place on someone's life, they're still going to be blessed. They're still going to get what they deserve. The blessing is not going to pass them by. And you're going to sit there still looking dumb with your arms folded across, trying to conjugate like another scheme, another rumor. You look childish. You look dumb. Stop doing it. Stop trying to put pieces together and make this sound like this, and well, this looks like that, or oh, well, she's standing right next to him, so she must be kissing him, or he's doing this, so he must be dealing with this one, and da, 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 da. Mind your fucking business. Stand on your own problems, because everybody in this world has a problem, has an issue, is going through something. Mind your business. Because no matter what anybody says, oh, I don't care. Deep down, you do care, because you don't want anybody talking about you and then making things up to then make you look like this type of person. It's a form of bullying. It's a form of bullying. You're a bully, and you get off on shit like that. And that's weird. Stop with the rumors. Grow up, find you some business, and take care of it. Now, I know I talked about the YNs and the younger generation, but can we please talk about auntie and uncle that gotta retire? Because listen, I know, again, I get it. Times is hard. Everyone's still working till they 80. They pushing. They're pushing their walkers as they're coming to clock in. I understand. I get it. And not everybody has the means or the ability to retire by a certain age. But maybe this means you need something that's a little bit more slow paced. Maybe something that you can do from home that works better for you as a person who has probably been working for, I'm not trying to even be disrespectful when I say this, who has been working for 50 years. Because there are people that have actually never stopped working, and they're in like their 70s and 80s and have been working since they were teenagers. But it's like, you have to go where you fit in. And if the work environment no longer is conducive for your condition and your age and your stamina, then maybe it's time to let it go and find something else. And then, there's also things where people are saying, like, and again, I understand, especially with how everything is up in the air about Social Security being cut off and food stamps and all these other things that a lot of elderly people and a lot of people who have probably went over their retirement need and a necessity. People are scared now after leaving their job. They don't know if they should or they shouldn't, or who have left and again, are panicking. But there are things that I feel like after you have done your work, your services in a more high-paced, high-volume job that you can go to. I'm not sure of it. Matter of fact, look, I'm going to look some up. We're just going to find some. Okay, I'm literally looking it up. Okay, so you can have customer service representative. A lot of those are at home. You just call in. A lot of companies have that. You could do virtual assistant, right? They say school bus driver, but I don't know about that. But okay, school bus driver, administrative assistant, event attendant, or coordinator. You could do that too for events. You could be a greeter. You could be an usher at church. I don't know. Do they pay ushers? They have to pay ushers at church. Do they? I don't know. Maybe they don't. If you like to take pictures, you could be a photographer. You could be a translator, a youth care specialist, even a babysitter. They do say that, babysitting babies, if you're over a certain age, keeps you young. You could do that too. Senior helpers. You could help out another senior citizen who can't physically move or has challenges moving, and be their best friend. A buddy pal. They said it. See, look, a buddy pal, senior helper, buddy pal. You could be a housekeeper. Now, I don't know if you want to be scrubbing nobody damn floors at the age that you're at, but again, to each his own. Make your money how you got to make it. Home care provider or caregiver, security guard, something that's not as, not as high paced. You just have to stand there and mostly look. And mostly when I say security guards, in the malls and stuff, go into the mall being for a security, for a company, but also working for retail jobs. They'll hire senior citizens and those who have going from a more high volume workplace to a lower volume workplace. Just options. You know what I mean? Sometimes, guys, you have to just hang it up and just know that if the job is a lot and you're on your feet a lot and it's wearing and tearing on your body, it's time to let it go. And the last one that I think is a rippling toxic environment is giving your best friend or your friend a promotion, an incentive, a bonus, just because they're your best friend. And I'm talking about people who are in higher up positions, giving people promotions who don't deserve it. I'm going to play out a scenario right now, right? So let's say you're at the top. You're a big boss. You're a big honcho. You're a big meech, right? You up there. And you have a friend who is coming into the workforce, right? And granted, they may have to go through the steps. They may have to go through, whatever, get their feet wet, as they say, get their feet wet. But and then you see that, okay, promotions are starting. They're opening up certain, areas in the job where you could become an executive at a administrative, that, like a bunch of shit, like, right? Just going to the next step of your job, whatever the next step may be when it comes to your job. But this said person who is your friend who just came to the job doesn't know how to count to 100. This person doesn't know the difference between their THEIR and their THERE, and they are THEY apostrophe RE. They don't even know that difference. That they don't even know how to properly count change if they are behind a register. But you're still going to you're steady giving this person, and you're 100% 10 toes down that this person is going to become either a partner, be right there up with you, or be a little bit right underneath you. But you're going to make sure this person gets up to that top part where you want them to be, because that's your friend. Just because you fuck with them, you're going to make sure that they get where they need to get to. But again, they don't really know the job. They don't know what they're doing. But yet you gave them the position you gave them the space to get promoted and to get that bonus, or to move up into another part of that job, wherever the job is, right? How is that conducive to the work environment? Friend or no friend? If I feel like my friend cannot do, okay, baby, you need to work on this a little bit more before we can get you to that point. Of course, I want to bring my friend with me. Of course, I want my homegirl or my homeboy to be right there next to me, side by side. And if I have the means to do it as being someone who's higher up, if I can bring you up, I'm going to show you the ropes that way I can see that you can actually handle the job. I'm not going to just bring you up to the top just for a check, so you can fuck up the whole company. And then they look at me like, well, who recommended this person? Don't look at me. I wish some people would stop. Some companies will also stop doing that too. I think my friend told me about that too at one of her jobs. I'm not going to say the name, but it is a very big name that a lot of us use their technology. And she said that one of her then manager, she left. She was at a whole new company now. But her then manager did that, where he brought in I think it was like his little brother or his little cousin. And he knew nothing about the job. He didn't care. You could tell he didn't care. She said he looked like he came into work all the time. I kid you not, this is not a lie. Came into work all the time, high as hell. But had to do, the company that she worked for, that division area that she was in, had to do with a lot of money and had to do with a lot of just financial resources or whatever. And she was like, how do you sit here and trust somebody who constantly comes to work looking like they're high or they're drunk, and you're going to constantly, you have their back, you're going to promote them? I kid you not. She said that the man started, I think sometime in July, he was promoted above her to another step by October. July, he came into the job. You're talking August, September, October. That's 3 months. And the man was already promoted to another area. All because there was somebody who was a chief something or other. I don't know the exact name of what but she said he was a chief. So I guess he was way, way, way up there. But because that was the person that you knew, and you had the ties that you had to them, you promoted them to this person, or to this level, and they didn't know how to do the job at all. She said that he was asking her, what do you do in this situation? How do I solve this? How do I solve that? And granted, you will ask questions. I feel like we're all going to forget things once in the blue, but he didn't know shit. It wasn't until, long story short, money started missing. things started like just going haywire. Finances weren't put in the right area. They had to let him go, and they ordered the guy who promoted him, his brother or his cousin, got demoted for allowing this person to be promoted because his name was written on it. Don't stop letting your friends get promoted if they don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's going to be your ass. Don't do that. Nonetheless, guys, toxic work environments are everywhere. It doesn't matter what job you are in. It doesn't matter what field you're in. It doesn't matter what year, what time. We all go through it. But I feel like there are so many steps and they're easy steps that we could take to like prevent it. Like, start from the top and see what the problem is. Because 9 times out of 10, everybody at the bottom is a reflection of what they're seeing at the top or what they're not seeing at the top. And I'm not saying that's for everybody. You have those who just, again, clock in, clock out, go about their business and do their job correctly. But I feel like if you are in that space at the top to see how the environment is getting bad and see how you can change it. Also, mind your business. Stop talking about everybody. Like, stop. Make your little friends, make your little group, be cool, have a thing. That's it. But go about your business. You young generational people, understand this is work. This is a working environment. You do have to take orders. Stop being so combative. Stop talking back all the time. Shut up. And auntie and uncle, if the job is not good for you, it's too much, and you ought to constantly rub on your knees, put Ben Gay on it, and constantly rock back and forth talking about my legs, my back, my spine, my this, my that. Give it up, baby. You did your time. We thank you for your service. Time to go. You got to get out. But I love you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great night. Make sure you guys tune in this week. I think I'm going to do it Thursday night. I think I'm going to do Thursday night. 6 p.m. Tune into the live. We are going to talk about making her a single mother. Yeah, this is going to be a good live. I see it. I see it coming. I love you guys for listening. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you share the podcast with everybody. Whatever happened today, hold it down. Do not bring it into tomorrow.